What is up, guys? It's time for Dylan, back at it again with another crypto video. What is up, guys? It's time for Dylan, back at it again with another crypto video. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. If you're new here, subscribe, bell icon, get notified when I post new videos because it's all time sensitive. In today's video, we just got to talk about what's going on with the crypto market. Why are things down a little bit on the 7-day chart? We got to talk about that. I already talked about it in the last video, but a lot of people seem to be confused as to why crypto is dipping. So we got to talk about that, and then of course, got to talk about what's going on with the SEC winning this pretty big lawsuit, I guess some would call it. I would call it a slap on the wrist for some unknown cryptocurrency project. But of course, it's making headlines. People are talking about it. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we see this all over the mainstream media. Because, you know, mainstream media, they hate crypto. They hate you. They're going to flood it all the way to hell. So we got to talk about that. Then, of course, Bank of Korea given the rights to investigate some crypto firms. So we have to talk about that as well. And then, of course, I just want to talk about some Cardano NFTs. As you guys know, I've been talking about Cardano NFTs on my channel literally from the very beginning. So I've followed a lot of these projects. We made some pretty great calls on this channel. Told you guys to scoop up some awesome projects. You guys can go look through the channel, see which projects I'm talking about. But of course, over the last, 30 days, maybe a month and a half, things have been definitely trending to the downside. And I see a lot of people losing faith, losing hope on Twitter, crypto Twitter. Everyone not really talking about Cardano NFTs. A lot of people jumping ship either to Bitcoin ordinals, even to Polygon or Solana. I don't know what's going on. But I think it might be a good time to start considering picking up some of these blue chip NFTs on the Cardano blockchain. So we got to talk about that. And the last thing we have to talk about is, of course, who the hell is EPPS? So I'm just going to quickly talk about this at the very end just because I thought it was super interesting. Proof that EPPS was a diehard Trump supporter. We got to talk about that. Make sure you guys stay tuned so you don't miss out on any of this important information. As always, first things first, let's take a quick look at the crypto market. As you guys can see, global crypto market cap still holding strong, $1.17 trillion. We're up insignificant on the day, 0.015%. But Bitcoin, look at that. It's back down under $28,000. However, over the course of the day, it looks like it's been slowly trending back to the upside. So I will say this. Bitcoin was holding strong above 30K. Why did it dip? Why did it dip? It's because CME has an 83% chance of a 0.25% rate hike coming in the next, 10 days, I think it is. It's going to be next Wednesday. We're going to see the FOMC meeting. What are they going to do? They're going to come out and raise rates. So in the short term, what is this going to do? We've seen what's happened over the course of the past year and a half. The Federal Reserve has been raising rates. What does that do? It is demolishing banks, as we've seen with Silicon Valley Bank, First National Bank, Signal Bank, all these banks, and it even transitioned over to Europe. We saw it with Credit Suisse, and then the main bank in Switzerland having to acquire Credit Suisse to fix the problem. And they had to lay off like 50% of the work staff. Now, of course, we're even seeing banks in France crashing, banks in Africa crashing. And now, of course, we're going to be raising rates again, which is just going to make this contagion spread and get even worse. Why? I've talked about it numerous times on this channel, but if it's your first time tuning in, the reason why this is causing banks to crash is because since the 2008 financial crisis in the United States, the Federal Reserve and the United States government, they had to make rates close to zero to stimulate the economy, to make people go out and make purchases. So, of course, that was only supposed to last like a year or 2 years. But you know what happens? These people, they get greedy. So that's why the close to 0% interest rates, how long did they last? 15 years, up until the beginning of the pandemic and even through the first couple years of the pandemic, right? 2 weeks to slow the spread. Yeah, it turned into 3 years of slow the spread. And of course, those close to 0% interest rates, they remained close to 0%. And what does that do, guys? it just creates a massive problem. If we turn on the Monty printers, QE, quantitative easing, right? We had to print money. We had to. We really had no option. And of course, the first couple omnibus bills that passed, they were justified because, of course, we were experiencing a crazy virus that nobody knew about. We didn't have many options. We needed to stop it where it was. We needed to save our economy. So Monty printer would go burr, burr, burr. Right? Great. But of course, people are greedy. So we had 2, 3 more omnibus bills, trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars injected into the M2 money supply. What does that do? A 5-year-old could tell you. Inflation. It debases the value of our currency. So the only way to quell inflation, you guys already know, raise interest rates. You have to raise interest rates to stop the spending. That is the only way to fix inflation. But guess what? These banks, they're holding 60, 70% of their entire balance sheet in these Fed bonds that were issued at close to 0% interest rates. Guess what happens when those interest rates go up? Those bonds become worthless. And you guys already know fractional reserve banking. It's the greatest scam of all time, the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world. What happens? You go to the bank to pull out your hard-earned dough that you think is sitting in there safely. Haha, good one. They only have to hold 10% of all deposits. Oh, but wait, there's more. COVID made it so that most of these banks only had to hold not 10%, not 5%, 1% of deposits. Isn't that disgusting? So you go to pull your money out of the bank, guess what? They don't have it. Where is it? In investments, of course. They got to make money. They're greedy, guys. Money makes the world go round. So guess what happens? You go to pull out your money. What do they have to do? They have to sell what? Their bonds. At what? A massive loss. That's why these banks went under. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen? This contagion is just going to continue getting worse because the only way to fix this inflation is to raise the interest rates. Now, guess what? The Federal Reserve came out with, I don't even know what it's called. It's the new buyback thing. Oh, don't worry, guys. We will insure these banks. The Federal Reserve is going to buy back these bonds. How much sense does this make? How are they going to buy back the bonds, guys? I'll tell you. You already know the answer. How are they going to buy back the bonds, guys? By printing more money. How much sense does this make? So to fix inflation, we're going to buy back the bonds, right, that we crashed because we had to fix inflation by raising interest rates. And the inflation was caused by printing money. So the way we're going to fix it is by printing more money. That's why we're in crypto. That's why we like Bitcoin. That's why I like gold and silver. I like anything but dirty fiat. And I know you guys probably feel the same way because it's a disgusting Ponzi scheme. Every single fiat currency in the history of our planet has failed. The longest lasting fiat currency is the US dollar, but every single one fails. Why? Because of greed and corruption. Now, I'm not saying that the dollar is going to fail tomorrow. Might not even fail in the next decade, but it will fail. And when it does, it's going to be catastrophic. You guys have already seen the BRICS nations, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus Japan, plus so many more countries joining forces to get off the dollar standard because it is a sinking ship. That's the bottom line. But of course, who am I but some guy on the internet spewing crazy conspiracy theories? Let me go get my foil hat, right? Wrong. You guys know I'm right. I know I'm right. Everybody will eventually realize that this is correct and true, but most people, it will be too late. So hopefully you have some crypto, not financial advice. Hopefully you have some Bitcoin because it is solid monetary gold. How do I know that? Because its code is secured by the strongest network on the planet. You guys already know. Proof of work. Nothing can defeat it. SHA-256 hash algorithm. Bolstered by what? Asymmetric and symmetric encryption. Good luck trying to crack that. It will take hundreds of thousands of years with our computers. And even with quantum computing, if it does manage to catch up with AI, combined with quantum computing, what do we have to do? All vote to change it from SHA-256 to SHA-512 or even SHA-1024 or whatever the next iteration would be. So that's why I love crypto. Even though there's volatility, who cares? We know that the truth is I would rather see the number on the Bitcoin screen based on dollars go down than hold a dollar that never changes in value, but see all the groceries prices go up, which means you can't buy what you could last year with the same dollar. So you choose. Do you want to see the volatility, or do you not want to see the volatility? Ignorance is bliss, right? You guys probably swallowed the blue pill. I'd rather swallow the red pill and know what's going on. But anyway, moving on along, Bitcoin sitting at $27,685, still up massively from the start of the year. Still up massively from the low of 2019 when the pandemic started. Where was it sitting? $3,500. Still up massively from the high of 2017. So Bitcoin continues to trend upward. Of course, there's volatility. It's going to go up, down, up, down. But the trend is your friend. All of the fundamentals on Bitcoin's network still look fantastic. So that's why I love it. Of course, Ethereum, everything else following suit, because you guys know Bitcoin dominance, where is it at right now? 45.9%. So Bitcoin moves, the market follows. That's how it has always been, and it will probably remain for the next couple of years. Of course, until Ethereum or maybe even Cardano takes the #1 spot because of smart contract and DeFi. Because that's what's going to happen. You mark my words. Might not be right now, might not be next year, might not be the year after that, but it's going to happen in our lifetimes. I guarantee it. Now, you guys know how I feel about meme coins. They're fun. It's like gambling. Why go to the casino if you can buy a meme coin? EPPS is doing fantastic. So shout out to everyone making money with meme coins. I don't hate the meme coins. I just don't personally partake in them. But if you guys make money with meme coins, shout out to you guys. Don't forget to take profits. That's all I'm going to say. Not financial advice. But of course, moving on along to the first topic of today's video. The SEC wins a $2.8 million lawsuit over an alleged cryptocurrency token price manipulation. So when I saw this, I thought it was funny. I kind of disregarded it. $2.8 million in fines for a cryptocurrency, that's a slap on the wrist. Really, this right here is just something to display on mainstream media to scare normies, people that don't understand crypto. People that don't understand crypto, don't understand Bitcoin, have never read the Bitcoin white paper, don't understand how any of this works. They're going to see this, and of course, it's just going to reiterate in their brains that crypto is a scam, when in reality, we know it's not. But I just thought I would put this on your radar because expect tomorrow when you wake up to see this all over mainstream media. All the pundits are going to be talking, oh, see, it's the next biggest thing, it's the next biggest scam. Whatever, screw them. You guys can read this article if you'd like. I'll make sure to throw it down below in the description, but I just wanted to put it on your radars because you already know what's going to happen tomorrow. Next article I wanted to talk about was this: Bank of Korea given right to investigate local crypto firms. So is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Personally, I think it's a good thing. Mostly because cryptocurrencies are public ledgers, which means all the transactions are visible. So there really is nothing to hide here, except for cryptocurrency exchanges that are being shady, like FTX, right? If we had this type of insight into the cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States, like FTX, if we were able to go in and look at the books in great detail, FTX would have been avoided. What would that have done for the crypto space? It would have prevented the massive drawback in Bitcoin's price and the entire cryptocurrency market. Because when FTX collapsed, it caused a cascading effect in the entire market, mass fear, mass uncertainty, mass doubt, FUD. So it would have been a great thing to be able to look into the books of a centralized exchange and prevent the mayhem that ensued from its crash, right? Greed and corruption and straight up law breaking is what caused that collapse at FTX. And giving the Bank of Korea, which is the central authority in Korea, kind of like the Fed over here, giving them the ability to look into the crypto firms, I think is a good thing, because it will prevent these crypto firms from following in the footsteps of FTX. So I just wanted to talk about that briefly. You guys can read more about this. I'll throw the link down below if you guys want to read it. Of course, moving on along, jpg.store, we got to talk about some of these NFTs. Now, over the last 24 hours, we've seen a big spike in volume for a lot of these NFT projects. And that's because over the past month and a half, 2 months, a lot of these NFT projects have been drawing back dramatically. Who knows why? I personally think it's because a lot of people are just bored, right? We're in the depths of the bear market, as a lot of people like to say. And NFTs, they're super duper risky, right? We're like 3 layers in to the level of risk now. Not only that, we've seen a lot of DeFi tokens and altcoins on Cardano start to surface, and people are starting to realize that for less risk, you can get the same exact, if not more, reward with meme coins. And of course, way more liquidity with these altcoins on the Cardano ecosystem. DeFi tokens, way more liquidity than NFTs. NFTs, you list them for sale. Sometimes they don't sell for months. Sometimes they instantly sell. But it's kind of a gamble, of course. NFTs are risky. And I think a lot of people are starting to mitigate their risk much more wisely, in my opinion. But of course, so many people, we're talking about Space Buds. We're talking about Clay Nation. We're talking about Boss Cat Rocket Club, Ape Society. Calling these all blue chip NFTs in the Cardano ecosystem. Where are they now? Why aren't they talking about them now? In instances like this, it always reminds me of what Warren Buffett always says. You got to be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. So right now, everyone is fearful. NFTs, NFTs are dead, blah, 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 blah. Right now might be a good time to just start putting these back on your radar because they're at significant discounts from where they were. And of course, all of these projects, the ones that I've named at least, SpaceBuds, Clay Nation, Boss Cat Rocket Club, Ape Society, they are working, they're developing. They have whole teams of people working on their metaverses, right? If you're still, you still believe in the metaverse thing that they're trying to build, that's what they're working on right now. So even if you're not a long-term believer in the metaverse, you're not really a long-term believer in these projects, you do have to realize that when they do actually deliver on these promises, especially for me, Clay Nation and Ape Society, SpaceBuds, I like SpaceBuds simply for the historical relevance. First NFT on Cardano. So I think SpaceBuds will rip when Cardano sees a new all-time high, which will probably be in like a year and a half from today, right? Once we see the Bitcoin halving cycle, Bitcoin rips, money trickles down from Bitcoin into the altcoins. That's what's going to happen. 4-year cycle. Come on, let's get it. When that happens and Cardano does at least reclaim its old all-time high, or even make a new all-time high, people will take profits and will start spreading their money around into riskier positions, namely historical NFTs on the Cardano blockchain. So I really think SpaceBuds, for that reason, will probably rip once we do see a new all-time high for Cardano. Clay Nation and Ape Society, and even Boss Cat Rocket Club, probably in that order, Clay Nation, Ape Society, Boss Cat Rocket Club, will for sure see new all-time highs around the release of their new ecosystems, their new metaverses, their new environments and games that they're building. And I think if they play it smart, they're probably going to be releasing it around the time of the Bitcoin halving cycle or maybe a year after, once we see the money start to trickle down into the altcoins. And considering we're down like 50, 60% from the all-time high of these projects right here that I mentioned, might be a good time to start thinking about acquiring one or two of these. Not financial advice, you guys do your own research, blah, blah, blah. I actually sold all my NFTs a long time ago, all my Cardano NFTs, sold them a long time ago, except for Clay Nation and except for Ape Society. Those are the only ones that I'm holding right now. I feel good about that. I don't know. I'm thinking about a SpaceBud. Still haven't pulled the trigger. I was thinking about pulling the trigger on a SpaceBud back when they were at like 6,000. So we will see what happens. We will see what happens. But overall, I'm excited. I'm still bullish on Cardano. As you guys know, Cardano is starting to move into its final stage of its roadmap. Scalability, peer-to-peer, Hydra, all that good stuff is coming very soon. We've had the lead developers on Hydra, the layer 2 scaling solution, already say it's ready to be rolled out on the main net. And once that happens, if it is smooth, things are going to start taking off in the right direction for Cardano. But I'm not holding my breath. We still have a long time away from the Bitcoin halving cycle. It's still like a year away. So we'll revisit this topic once that comes up. So the last thing I want to say before we talk about this last topic is I'm going to start working on the intermediate series of the learning how to program using ChatGPT. Of course, we're doing a series on Python. We just finished the introductory series, the super beginner lessons talking all about functions, if statements, inputs, outputs, different data types, all that fun stuff. We even made our own Hello Blockchain program, which was super cool. I still want to update that program. So my next video will probably be wrapping up that Hello Blockchain program. Not, before we jump into the intermediate section of the Python lesson. But I just wanted to give you guys that quick update before we jump into this last video, because a lot of you guys will probably click off here, which I don't blame you. That's cool. I just wanted to put this on your radar because I've been seeing a lot of NFT and crypto people on Twitter starting to talk about this type of stuff. Now, I try not to talk about politics on this channel too much because, we're talking about crypto. And the beauty of crypto is it's super inclusive, right? Who cares what your politics are with crypto? That's the beauty of crypto. It escapes the political system, right? Nobody likes what's going on with our finances in the world. And that's why crypto is such a beautiful opportunity to escape the mainstream corruption. But I just wanted to talk about this because, I think we all agree January 6th was a terrible day in American history. A lot of people broke the law. They should be in jail. Fantastic. I agree 100%. But what the hell is going on with this guy right here, right? I'm going to drop this down below. I wanted to point it out in case you haven't seen. This EPPS dude, why hasn't he been arrested yet? That's all I'm going to say, This is a little bit conspiracy theory-ish. But I think you guys should at least look it over for yourselves and then come up with your own conclusion. That's all I'm going to say. This dude right here was like inciting people, telling them, we need to go into the Capitol. All kinds of videos about him, right there. And he was removed from the FBI's most wanted list when all these other people weren't, right? Even though he clearly broke the law just like everyone else. All I'm saying is if we want to remain consistent, if you broke the law, you got to do the time, right? Right? Unless there's something we don't know about this guy. But that's total speculation. I don't know. I just felt like putting this out there super in depth. Who really knows? Who really knows? I don't know. But the beauty of footage, the beauty of cameras is you can't really fake it. At least not yet. So I'm just going to make sure to link this down below. You guys read through. I don't really care about this. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Because, this guy really did kind of break the law. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys made it this far, you guys are awesome. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Try to post crypto videos. Try not to talk about politics on this channel too much. NFTs, crypto, programming, all the fun stuff. If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to follow along. But you guys have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are. Dylan is